The Views panel got a little testy on Wednesday after guest host Elisabeth Hasselbeck defended ICE and President Trump's border policies.
Now, Hasselbeck is temporarily filling in for Alyssa Farah Griffin, who's on maternity leave. The panel was discussing Kristi Noem's congressional testimony when tensions rose.
Hasselbeck defended the Trump administration's policies, citing current statistics on decreased fentanyl trafficking and border encounters. She then told her co-panelists she doesn't believe they're actually against border control in their daily lives, noting studio audience was vetted and had to go through security just to attend the show. Let's listen.
We need strong borders more than ever right now. We are being infiltrated.
But listen, can I give you
on the border when Renee Good and Alex Peretti were murdered, and death is not a mistake. That was a murder. No,
that was a murder.
Now let me finish.
As were those killed by illegal immigrants.
Let's not be dismissive about the fact.
I'm not dismissive. I just said all their lives matter.
Host Sarah Haynes and Sonny Hostin then challenged Hasselbeck's defense and called Kristi Noem, quote, wholly unqualified for the job and accused the administration of lacking empathy.
Hasselbeck added she believes in a, quote, nation of borders and argued that media bias was responsible for the public's disapproval of ICE. Nice to see Elisabeth Hasselbeck.
I know she was there from like 2003 to 2013,
yeah,
I believe.
She was on Survivor, right?
Oh, was she?
You don't know this?
I didn't follow along.
Second season, I believe, of Survivor. I used to watch. It's like in its 50th season. I haven't watched it in a couple years,
That's
but
the
I
most
used
successful show ever.
Well, it does 2 seasons a year. So
I know, but it's
like
still
25 years of it.
Yeah.
I used to watch it. I used to be really into it. I remember her being on. She was great. Everybody loved her. And it turned out she had a conservative view. So then she was on. Yeah, it was on The View. She was in combat, I think, about the Iraq War a lot with Rosie O'Donnell in that era. Yeah. And then they've gone through, Meghan McCain had the conservative chair for a while. She was very combative with the others. And it's Alyssa Farah Griffin now, who's a little bit more moderate in her presentation, maybe, than Elisabeth Hasselbeck. So it's been nice to have her back.
Some spiciness at the table.
Good points. But she's out of 2003 conservative, because they talked about Megyn Kelly and Candace, and she's like, she doesn't have anything to do with that, because she's pro-Israel and she's a more Bush era pro-war, pro-Israel conservative.
She's like,
it's funny to see
Hannity.
See her back. Yeah, like
right?
Hannity.
Yeah.
But defending ICE and pointing out that this is a great point that gets made by conservatives, that nobody's defund ICE, abolish the police, says some Democratic congressperson who has security and lives in a gated community, and that kind of thing.
Look, I am specifically adamant that the Biden administration completely mishandled immigration and have been extremely critical of them for eternity.
Yeah.
I know that's exactly part of the reason why President Trump succeeded in the last election. But I think there's a big difference between Republicans winning on border control when it comes to the actual border and the way that ICE has been controlling migration in this country. And I think that because polls have shown us recently that a lot of people don't like the tactics, which is, I think, what Sonny was alluding to, talking about people dying and the Americans that have, we saw this, Kristi Noem was testifying this week, and we saw that both Tom Tillis, Republicans and Democrats, were criticizing her leadership. And that's what the table was discussing. Under your leadership, we've called Americans terrorists. We've jumped to conclusions. We caused chaos within cities. Was there a better strategy here?
Yeah, the strategy was for the local authorities to voluntarily.
But you keep saying that, and we keep going back in this circle. So you want to do this dance again. So Governor Walz says when Tom Homan came in that they had a conversation, and Tom Homan says, "Oh, we got to some conclusion." Governor Walz says we were already at that conclusion. We were allowing you guys into jails. We gave 2 weeks, like we're supposed to, mandated by the law.
Sanctuary cities don't exist.
They do. I lived in one in Denver, and I have multiple feelings about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know, Minnesota is standing firm that they haven't changed any policies in relation to ICE and immigration enforcement.
Let's just condemn the sanctuary city policies, and we can all dance together.
Next on Rising, while some Democrats are trying to block federal ICE agents at ballot boxes, President Trump seems to be shifting away from the facts and towards creating fear. Stick around for my lens.